Yeah. Underrated, we the underdogs, underestimated. Underrated, we the underdogs, underestimated. We the one. We the one. Yeah, out of the darkness I rose up. Golden my soul, it's a gold rush. Yeah.
Boys Only, Digital Gumbo After Poddy, number 5, episode 35.
The party, it's the after party.
That's right, Idris and Nook. Idris, when was the last time you went grocery shopping, man? And did you have any observations when you was in the grocery store?
Hey, look, all right, no, I hadn't been grocery shopping in so long, but I went for the first time in forever this week. And I went not because I needed to go grocery shopping. I just wanted to get out the house. It was like a vacation. Like going to the grocery store was like, oh my God, this is where food comes from. It don't come from like somebody who deliver it to your house. And and so I took my my 6-year-old son with me. And we was masked up, we was safe and everything. We kept our distance. But like I didn't realize he hadn't seen people and food like that in a long time, in like almost a year. I mean, think about it. And so we going through the fruit and vegetable aisle, and he pointing to stuff. He was like pineapples. He was like apples. He was like peppers. We had to get apples, peppers, spinach. He just put all kind of stuff in the cart just because he hadn't seen it in that way. And so it is like shopping at the grocery store. It was this mundane task that you hated doing, that you had to do every week or a couple times a week. And somehow now it's turned into this outing or expedition for our family. So it's weird, man.
Man, so, it's me and Mrs. Nook. And, I go up to the gas station that's got like the little superette on it and the whole 9 yards. But I did have to go into another store. Man, it's like learning to drive. You got to go with the arrows this way on the carpet when you're inside the store.
Yeah, I noticed that. I was all wrong with it, though, Nook. I was going backwards.
It's like doing the bus stop or the some kind of, in some type of line dance. You can turn right here, but not left here. And then you see something down the aisle, but you got to wait to see if somebody else come up out the aisle. And then when you check out, they got these boxes and it's got the X and the boxes is 6 feet apart. And then the last thing is, man, is that every store is like going to the convenience store, like at the gas station at night, plexiglass and what did you say? And
everything, like every grocery store is turned into the hood corner store because it's got glass everywhere,
plexiglass, masks, and it's just ridiculous, man. Okay, so what's been going on the internet is, what's the best ginger ale? Canada Dry, Seagram's, or Schweppes? What's your go-to ginger ale?
I'm going to tell you right here, they all garbage. They all garbage. Canada Dry, Schweppes, and what's the other one?
Seagram's.
They all garbage. I love ginger ale. Ginger ale is one of my favorite things, right? And the ginger ale that I get that's the closest is Gosling. I get Gosling ginger beer.
Okay.
And so I use that to mix my drinks and everything. But I grew up in the South, right?
Okay.
And I grew up next to this town called Blenheim. So I grew up in a county, in Marlboro County, South Carolina. And there's this small town called Blenheim. And they used to make Blenheim ginger ale there.
Okay.
And so like Blenheim ginger ale or ginger ale period was like a tonic, right? It was used for indigestion, other ailments. And they used to make their ginger ale from a spring. They used to come up, the water used to come up from the ground, like, pure and whatnot. And so that is my favorite ginger ale, is Blenheim ginger ale. And it's so spicy, Nook, when you drink it, it makes you sneeze. That's like the bubbles tickle your nose so much, like you'll sneeze with it.
That's like the real ginger.
It's the real ginger. So like all those three that you named is like I I try not to drink them. Like in a pinch, I might drink them, but it's like this is like drinking water. So I like the real ginger ale. What about you?
So now I grew up in upstate New York, and we used to live across the street from the Canada Dry bottling plant. So
Yeah.
So like when the stores like they have people in the neighborhood and stuff, they would like have the little retail thing on the side, and if they got to know you, they give you a little discount and stuff. But I grew up across the street from the Canada Dry plant, so I've been partial to Canada Dry. Also, our town in upstate New York was right on the Canadian border, so Canada Dry sort of had it on lock as far as everything's concerned. But I rediscovered Canada Dry as an adult because they came out with that cranberry ginger ale for Thanksgiving, and they came out with that blackberry ginger ale for Christmas. That blackberry ginger ale, that's black people ginger ale. It's like the grape soda of ginger ale.
Yeah, I mess with that. I mess with that, and the other one is they ginger and lemonade.
Yeah,
like those two. But if it's straight ginger ale, I'm going for something else. But those two mixes that you just said. Can't nobody mess with that.
Yeah, that cranberry, that blackberry is something else. Now, Schweppes, if I go to a high-end, sort of spot where they're serving cocktails, they usually mix it with Seagram's, maybe sometimes Schweppes.
Schweppes is a little like Canada Dry has a little more bite to it. Schweppes is a little mellow. I lived in Ohio for a minute too, and they had Verner's ginger ale.
Yeah,
that was like what they drink out there. Which I didn't feel that at all, but like that's their ginger ale, Verner's.
Yeah, that golden ginger ale. Yeah, so they had that, and then in upstate New York they had something called Hires Root Beer, Hires, Hires Root Beer. I think it was run by the same people that carry Verner's. So yeah. All right, man. So we Canada Dry, and give me that name of that ginger ale one more time.
So it's Blenheim ginger ale. And dude, I tried to order some of that off. I was gonna order off the internet because they don't keep it in stores. There's a couple of stores I found it in, and dude, they're just trying to charge me like $50. So I was like, what?
Man,
wasn't ginger ale, but it's good. Blenheim ginger ale.
That's what's up.
And they say a conglomerate brought the Blenheim ginger ale, so it's not made in a small town anymore, but it's still good ginger ale.
Okay, that's what's up. All right, now these real estate prices is high out here, right? And one of the highest, most expensive real estate markets is in San Francisco. So this man had this big Victorian house, and it could cost you $1 million for a one bedroom out there in San Francisco.
That's probably a deal.
You might get a studio
jumping on that for $1 million.
Exactly. You might get a studio apartment for $1 million. Anyway, he loved his house. He didn't want to sell. He didn't want to rebuild. This guy moved his house, I think it was 20 blocks, on a dolly, right? But to do this, he had to get like 15 city permits. They had to cut down trees. They had to take parking meters out and the whole 9 yards. And they had to take street signs out, the overhead street signs and the whole 9 yards. It took them 6 hours, and it was all downhill. So I had to go very, very slowly. I saw the video on this.
And this one of them San Francisco hills.
One of them San Francisco hills is no joke. Yeah, you seen him in the car chases and stuff. 6 hours. He finally got the house there, and I guess they hooked it all up. But he had to do 15 permits just to make this happen. So
I'm like, how much did he pay to have it done? Because that sounds like, okay, cutting trees back, okay, I kind of get that. That's maybe not too bad. But when you got to take up parking meters and move parking meters and put them back, I was like, I guess he had to pay for that too. And then you had to pay for the moving service.
Right. The 15 permits and the moving service cost him, you ready for this?
Oh, Lord, what is it?
$400,000.
You got to be kidding me.
Now, I ain't lived in no house that I would want to move, that I'm that attached to. But if you live in San Francisco, moving the house that you in, that you paid for $400,000 is a bargain compared to buying a new house. I'll give you an example. There was a house in San Francisco that caught fire. They came and put the fire out. The land is expensive, and it's really nowhere to build in San Francisco.
Yeah.
They sold the burnt down as is house for $1.3 million.
What, a burned out house for $1.3 million?
Yes, the owners came in, demolished the structure, and built a new house in the same spot.
Well, like that made me think, like, he moved it 20 blocks. If he owned the house, right, it cost him $400,000 to move it, right? It might have jumped in value because it's all like literally real estate is about location, location, location. Where is that house at? And 20 blocks gave him a view of the wonderful San Francisco hillsides, and it cost him $400,000. He might have made a cool $1 million in profit off of it.
Yeah. I don't know any house that I lived in that if I had the opportunity to pick it up and move it somewhere, that I would move it. It's like, I'm not in the San Francisco real estate market, but I ain't love no house that I would move 20 blocks for $400,000. That's just crazy.
Why you playing? I grew up in the South, right? And in the South, we had a lot of mobile homes in the South. I lived in a mobile home at one point. My family did. And like, you could move them joints. But I was like, that sounds so weird now to kind of think like that, right? It's like, you do have people who have mobile homes, who live in mobile homes. They're on a permanent structure, but you can eventually move them things places. We never moved our mobile home, and I didn't know too many other folks who moved it once it was in place. But that was pretty much like he had a mobile home and he just moved it.
He moved it, $400K. I think it was 6 blocks. I said 20 blocks was 6 blocks, 15 permits, $400,000 for the permits and the moving service on a dolly, and they had to go real slow. It was like almost like if you slowed the DVR down to that slowest frame, like 1/8.
Yeah, you got to, because like if you moving fast, the house is falling apart.
Exactly.
You gotta like inch that thing, and that's an amazing feat to move an entire house. I wonder what the neighbors thought though. Now you got like one neighbor like, we got an empty lot. Our house value dropped by like 20-30% in 6 hours, and then somebody else's probably went up. That's how the housing market is.
That lot ain't gonna be empty for long. Somebody gonna come and buy that land from that man or whatever, and it's gonna be somebody building. They're probably building a new house on that lot right now.
Yep, you're right.
Australia, the shepherds found this sheep. The sheep had not had, the wool sheared in like years. They sheared the sheep. It's like the sheep was deformed. It was like a sanctuary for sheep. They sheared the sheep. So it had all this wool on its back. It literally looked like a dirty snow mountain. They sheared the sheep.
Yeah, I saw this photo. This is
78 pounds of wool on that sheep's back, bro.
I don't know how you walk around, how that sheep was walking around like that. The way they showed it, like the wool was covering his eyes, and it was 70 extra pounds.
78 pounds of wool. So they cut it off, and he could see and stuff. And, like they said he was moving around. He was like, had like a bad like hoof or something like that. That shit is heavy.
Yeah, that's like, but can you imagine how he felt when they cut it off though? One, he was probably cold. He was like, "Damn, it's cold out here." But like, it just like he can, like, I can jump on top of this house right now.
How many sweaters you think you could make out of 78 pounds of wool?
78 pounds of wool, man. You could make a whole lot of sweaters out of 78 pounds of wool. Like, that's at least 78 sweaters.
How many pairs of Bernie Sanders mittens can you make?
That's just one. You getting one pair of mittens.
That's crazy. These two ladies in Connecticut, they worked at the same restaurant, and everybody at the restaurant said, y'all look alike. Are y'all sisters? And the girls was like, no. So one of their coworkers was like, y'all should take like one of them 23andMe DNA tests, right?
Boy.
So they did. So the girls came to Connecticut from the Dominican Republic. And what they found out in talking to each other about their stories is that they was adopted, but their paperwork got switched at birth. So they took the 23andMe, They found out that they had first cousin together. Found out that they were sisters. They was really
What?
sisters. Yeah.
Wow. Working in the same diner.
Same
restaurant.
Same bar. Yeah. Yeah.
Same-
Yeah, man. That's crazy. Took the 23andMe and found out that they was sisters, man. That's unbelievable.
But like, that's your sister and y'all working in the same bar.
Yeah. Yeah.
Could have been anywhere in the world, but landed up there.
Anywhere. Yeah, man. So, they was already tight and close in the whole 9 yards, and they sisters, man. So they are overjoyed with that. So those are the type of stories I like to hear, man. That's what's up.
Yeah, that's a heartfelt story right there. That's
absolutely. This lady in Sacramento, California, she sent her kids to her 3 kids went to this Catholic school. It's like this high-end hoity-toity Catholic school. So I guess her husband is pretty well-to-do. He has, he works, and she's a stay-at-home mom. But what she did was she started an OnlyFans page, just to make.
All right, wait. Explain OnlyFans. Like, what does that mean?
Okay. So OnlyFans is like this internet thing where you don't necessarily have to show nudity, but it's like a website where like people that have fetishes or just like to admire the human form, so to speak, can go on and subscribe and pay the person for their pictures that they post on their OnlyFans site. And
okay,
then,
so OnlyFans, like you subscribe to their site. Like if I had a site and I had people who subscribe to it, they pay me whatever amount to subscribe to that to pretty much see me.
Correct. So it could be pictures, it could be videos that you post, but you could do live videos as well. So yeah, so that's what they do on OnlyFans. So her 3 kids went to the school and she started her OnlyFans. And then what happened was somebody in the PTA, the Parents Teachers Association, found out that she had this OnlyFans. And it's a real conservative school. So they called her up to the school and they was just like, we don't like this. This is not what our schools value. Expel her 3 kids from the school because of her OnlyFans.
Was she working at the school?
No, she was not working at the school. Just her
what her kids got to do with it then?
Exactly. So you know how it be in those conservative schools and those conservative enclaves, God forbid, and this is California, bro. They better be lucky she wasn't making porn on the side. But
all right, but okay, peep this though, look. How they know she had the OnlyFans site? And then how they know what was on there unless they were subscribing to it? Or people in their circle was subscribing to it?
So what they did, the slick move. So somebody was subscribed to the OnlyFans, right? And somebody hit somebody on the inside about the OnlyFans game. Then they was taking the screenshots of the pictures of the OnlyFans, or like saving the picture. They printed out like on some espionage shit. They printed out like a whole bunch of pictures, put them in a manila envelope, and then gave them to the school officials. And they were like, she got to go. She's not with our values.
So that tell me a couple things. One, that means your network is full of people who subscribe to OnlyFans pages. So that's one. That's suspect on you. Mm-hmm. 2 is that you associate with people who bootlegging OnlyFans subscriptions pictures. Mm-hmm. So that's a double strike. So how you gonna take that and then take it to the mom and say, I'm gonna kick your kids out of school, and the kids ain't got nothing to do with it? That's bad form on our school. Them kids don't even need to be in our school. I wouldn't trust our school with my kids. Now, I'm glad they out of there.
The thing is that the husband, he was the photographer for the OnlyFans pictures. So it'd just be like her doing regular stuff, like washing the dishes or cooking or, folding laundry and stuff like that. Nothing like X-rated or nothing like that. But
shoot, I'm going to start me a OnlyFans page. Show them how like dads do it. This is how dads do it. I'm going to show my little beer gut.
You could do like videos with the you could do videos with like the dad jokes, like in like a smoking jacket or something like that, sipping bourbon.
I like that one.
There you go. But yeah, so the lady found another school for the kids. The kids was upset. You know, these kids form bonds and friendship with the kids, and they don't even really know what's going on. But they found a new school for the kids, and everything is cool. They know about the OnlyFans, so this school is cool. So
yeah, I'm glad that was like, because the kid, that wasn't their fault, but I don't think they need to be in that school anyway.
exactly.
Get them out of there.
Now, this last one is a trip, bro. You got to put your ears on for this one, okay? Okay. So there was this teacher's aide, and he had like 20 years on the job. He worked with the special education students. So, all the Zooms, the classes are still on Zoom. So he was taking part of a school Zoom with the kids in the room, the whole 9 yards. The Zoom ended.
All right.
So he thought he had turned his video off. And what had happened was, allegedly, he got up from the Zoom.
And I always double check my Zoom camera and everything, make sure I'm out before I say a word or do anything. Is this thing off? For what happened, Nook?
Got up allegedly from the Zoom chat, and he had been pleasuring himself during the Zoom call, but you couldn't see his lower half. When you got up, you saw everything. So he got reported to the school. Again, he had 20 years on the, I want to say allegedly pleasuring himself. 20 years on the job. So everybody is over officious and brought the Zoom video to the attention of the police. What I'm understanding is that the police say no crime had been committed. I guess almost everybody had left the Zoom.
Yeah, if everybody had left the Zoom,
but
there was nobody to offend, and it just recorded him.
Right. The Zoom was still going. So, it's reserved for like a time, like say 8 to 9:15, and it might end at 8:57, but they still roll on it. Yeah. So he was in that. So that's what happened. So the school is investigating, and the teacher's aide is suspended, I think, without pay until further notice. But yeah, so he didn't turn his camera off.
This is okay. I don't even know where to go with this one, because it's like, all right, first of all, what he was doing was natural, right? Mm-hmm. Like, that's natural. That's part of the human experience. So I'm not even going to talk on that. But my thing is like, okay, so you doing it right after you get off the Zoom call? Like immediately?
He was getting off on the Zoom call.
Yeah, that's why it sounded a little suspicious to me. It's like, you might have started that before if you had to just, as soon as you got off the Zoom call, you had to like rub one out. That was like, so that's a little weird right there. And even like, why is you doing it right in front of the computer or whatever you got there? Mm-hmm. Like when you go somewhere else, when you close the computer down, it's just, that's.
I'm gonna tell you exactly what happened. So he probably did hit the leave the meeting or end the meeting button, but his keyboard or his mouse was sticky, and he didn't hit the button on
from previous activities.
Boy,
when they moved, it was stiff.
Mm-hmm. And the guy,
oh my Lord,
the guy acknowledged it and said that he had made some type of grave mistake, and I don't know if he offered an apology or whatever. But the first thing they're gonna do if that's a school laptop is seize that damn laptop and see what else he got on there. So you better clear
nobody don't want that laptop back. It's like, dude, we can't put this back out in circulation.
Now that is very nasty. So yeah, man.
Oh Lord, but you it's like this is the thing, and I think I don't know if I talked about this or not, but like it is so different now as we're doing virtual meeting. The thing that we're not thinking about is like you are in a way invading someone's privacy now. with work. Like before, work was in a physical space that you went to, and it had these defined barriers and rules and things how you operate, right? Mm-hmm. But now we are in a virtual world where you come into my home, right? And you might see all kind of stuff in my home, right? Yeah. Like there's no telling what you're gonna see in my home. And then it's like you're gonna tell me it's inappropriate? You mean in my house something is inappropriate? And it's even like, you starting to see this on some of the news shows, right? Where you starting to see people with like guns in the background, right? On shelves.
Yeah.
Right? Like what is that? Is that a threat? Is it illegal? Should it be? Right? If you're in my home and you're showing up there and it just happens to be in the background, you got people. I think we did one story where there's a lady who had a dildo on her bookshelf in the background.
Yep. Or the kids with the BB gun.
Yeah, kids with BB guns. So like we're just in a different world. And like when you open up virtual, meaning video, then you like you're opening up, you're stepping into somebody else's space. And a whole lot of stuff goes on in people's spaces, whether we want to admit it or not. Whole lot of stuff goes on there that don't happen in the public realm.
Yeah. So look, it ain't even really all that complicated, bro. You just go ahead and black out that video and your little icon come up and just leave it on that and just they can hear
and
you.
And dude, they also sell the little things, the sliding lens that go over the little camera on your computer. You just stick it on there and you can slide it on and off. And that way you ain't got nobody looking at you. So when you're done with the meeting, just slide the little thing on over the lens. And even if you don't hit the leave meeting, it's at least covered up. They can't see you. They might hear you, but.
You know what else works good too? Black electrical tape.
Yep, can't go wrong with that.
Right over that camera. It'll be sometimes I forget that it's on there. You don't need to see. Just talk.
Yep.
All good. All good. Well, listen, y'all, this has been the Digital Gumbo Podcast after party number 5. 5 of these things, man.
What? We rolling, man. 5 after parties.
5 after parties. And this is episode 35. So we encourage you to download, subscribe, rate, and review the Digital Gumbo Podcast today. Download, check out all our past episodes. We want you to subscribe so that you get notifications on your phone, your mobile device, or even your television when we have a fresh episode up. We want you to rate us 5 stars on your app. And we also want you to download, subscribe, rate, and review. Write a review. If you like this, and if you don't review, share this podcast with somebody. We talk about a lot of funny things in the news, et cetera, et cetera. So help your friends, neighbors, family members, frenemies to develop a little flavor for the Digital Gumbo Podcast. Download, subscribe, rate, and review today. Download, subscribe, rate, and review today. We're on Instagram at The Digital Gumbo, on Twitter at The Digital Gumbo. We have an IGTV channel and our YouTube channel, The Digital Gumbo Podcast YouTube channel. Man, you got anything you want to say before we get up on out of here?
Yes, Doug, and this comes straight from T. Patty. So she wanted to make sure that you and I did not forget to give a rest in peace to the amazing Vernon Jordan, who passed away. Amazing civil rights icon and leader who passed away this week. He was an advisor to several different presidents, head of the Urban League, worked with the National Association of Advancement of Colored People. Just a tremendous individual that served as a mentor to so many others. So rest in peace, Vernon Jordan. The world lost a giant.
Absolutely. I want to echo those sentiments as well. We didn't talk about that on the main pod, but yes, rest in peace to Vernon Jordan. So many pictures came through this week, and he is a civil rights icon who will be missed. And then from the world of sports, want to say rest in peace to Irv Cross, former NFL cornerback. And for me, as a black boy growing up in upstate New York, one of the first black professional broadcasters I saw every Sunday during football season
Wow,
on the
amazing.
NFL Today. So like him, Jimmy the Greek, also
Yes.
Brent Musburger,
Yep.
Phyllis George, and then later Jane Kennedy. But he was he had so much class and so much dignity, and he knew his stuff. And you know, in this world, sometimes when you got a little bit more melanin in your skin, you got to be twice as good as anybody else. Well, he was on point, a trendsetter. And again, now we see, people of color on sports broadcast, and there's more than 3 networks now. But Irv Cross was a groundbreaker, one of the first players to transition into a role with network TV, and he was a great, great man. So I want to say rest in peace to Vernon Jordan, and rest in peace to Irv Cross as well.
Rest in peace, guys.
Absolutely. All right, y'all, we're going to get out of here. This is episode 35. We already got things in the books. Looking forward to episode 36. Remember, you can email me, nookiebishopjr at gmail.com, nookiebishopjr at gmail.com. And you can also email us, thedigitalgumbo at gmail.com, thedigitalgumbo at gmail.com. Look forward to your emails and your letters. You can write and say boo, what you like, what you didn't like, what you might want us to talk about. Again, we might do an advice show, if we get enough emails, and we'll be happy to open one up, be able to kick it around, share our thoughts. Who knows? We might get into the advice and love advice game, so you never know. Idris, what you think about that?
Hey, I think we'll do a great job. We'll probably do a better job than that Dr. Love guy.
That's right, that fake Dr. Love from Florida. So we might get into that. But seriously, hit us up, email nookiebishopjr, nookiebishopjr at gmail.com, or email us thedigitalgumbo at gmail.com, thedigitalgumbo at gmail.com. March continues. March is on. We'll check y'all on the next episode. You good, bro?
I'm good, bro.
All right,
Peace
man.
out to everybody.
One love, y'all. Stay safe.